Hello, my name is Roy Elsley and I'm Principal Analyst at Ovum. What I want to do now is I want to give you a taster of a presentation I'm doing at the Service Desk Show in London on April the 24th this year. I want to talk about Lean IT. Now, Lean IT has been a topic that's been discussed and it's been reviewed and it's been considered as the next big thing for many years, but it's never really happened. And the reason it's never really taken off is the incentive to go for Lean IT has not really been there. Currently though, we're in the middle of a perfect storm. We have an economic downturn across the globe which is forcing a focus on IT to look at how it does things, why it does things, and to become a lot more flexible in the way it can handle the cost handles that business needs. And there's also a significant move going on to adopt external services, the cloud. These two things coming together are forcing IT to look deep inside themselves and make big changes to how IT is run and what value it delivers to the business. Now, Lean IT is based on 5 key principles. You have to look at things from the end point of the customer, and you define value in those terms. You then identify all of the value steps and activities in the chain, and you eliminate all the waste, i.e. those that don't add any value. You then compress those activities to improve the flow, and once you've done that, you then let customers pull the next stream activity. You repeat all of the above until you get to the nirvana state of value created with no waste. Now, where do you start on Lean IT? Well, Lean IT starts with knowing your activities, with knowing your assets, and with knowing what services you've got. And in the presentation, what I'm going to be showing is the Ovum model, which allows you to categorize these in a chart using activity, services, assets, and then some metric of showing you whether the value is greater than the cost greater than the value, it's mandatory or not applicable. That simple chart will then display to you exactly what it is you've got to look at, where you can go to remove those unwanted steps and stages. The whole purpose of Lean IT is to shift from a supply side to a demand side IT department. That is moving the control point away from IT pushing out services to customers demanding and pulling those services. The other key element that we're looking at within this is IT have got to be much faster to respond. It's got to respond at the speed of business. In 2008, when the credit crunch hit, many businesses wanted to make savings of 10, 15, 20%. They'd go to the CIO and say, right, we've got to make cuts across the board of about 20%. The CIO would take a deep breath and go, you know what? We've got a 3-year fixed price contract with EDS serving that. We've got this deal on that. We've got this project doing that. A small percentage of what IT spend was available to be attacked. That didn't meet the business needs. What business needs is the ability for IT to flex those costs and services to match the current economic reality. IT, Lean IT, is not about just the traditional approach of strategy and change the organisational activities and let's outsource run the business or run the organisation. It's a core that runs up the centre of it all, because some run the organisational activities, are key in the value chain, while some change the organisational activities, are probably not core and therefore can be used externally and fed in at interface points. The other element that we want to touch on here is the diagram that you see behind me is what I use for generating the one and the model that we use. But it also looks at things from an infrastructure services perspective and an application delivery development perspective. So we've got that two-dimensional approach, and that two-dimensional approach will give people the view of, where do we want to sit? Because it's not a lean core that only you can operate and everybody else operates the same. It's a flexible lean core. It's a flexible lean core that will allow you to say, you know what, in our industry, in our geography, we prefer to do this because it's value add, because it's differentiator, and because we feel that we are better at it than the competition. Or you can retrench back. But whatever you do, there is a core central plank leads up to the strategy that will be lean IT. For most people, that's going to be based on ITIL. Not all, and ITIL is certainly not a given right to success. It means you're at the right maturity level, you've got some right processes, but you've still got to do the other steps. So if you want to know more about this, come to the Service Desk Show in Olympia in April the 24th and hear me, Roy Ilsley from Ovum, present a 45-minute to an hour-long presentation and take questions on Lean IT, more than just cost savings. Thank you very much.